All right, welcome back, our viewers. Thank you for joining us today. This is your channel, Yellow World, and this is your boy, Bosman. We welcome you. We thank you for all your feedback, all your comments, all your suggestions, and we are taking them in. If you are watching us for the first time and you've not subscribed to the channel, please do so now. Please turn on the notification button so that you can always get notifications when we post new videos. Today is exciting. We are continuing our series on relocation to Canada. So, though we are taking a bit of a drift, from just the application or immigration process to showcasing, life in Canada, experience in Canada, or tips and tricks of when you come to Canada, things that you can learn or that can be of benefit to you. And I'm excited to have a special guest tonight, one that I see as a mentor, and he has been a blessing to me since I came to Canada. It's been a blessing, knowing him. But as our practice is, I'll leave him to introduce himself. Welcome tonight. Can you introduce yourself to our viewers?
Yeah, thank you very much. My name is Akindele Opoola. I'm an IT and telecom specialist, a real estate investment coach. I've been here for the last 9 years. My educational background is in IT and telecoms and business administration.
All right. Thank you, sir. As you've heard, he wears quite a number of hats. He's an IT and telecom specialist, but I will also call him a real estate guru. He said he's a coach, that is right. So we'll be asking quite a number of questions on real estate. I know, that's some of the questions I've, received either directly or indirectly about real estate business in Canada, and how one can go about it. So I will ask you at this point, how has been the journey since you moved to Canada?
Well, the journey has been challenging, and so far so good. It has been really good um, because because having to come all the way from Nigeria
Mhm,
to Canada is you are beginning again.
mhm.
That is why I said challenging. But after all the challenges, you know, we are able to weather the storm, and now we have acclimatized already, and we are part of the Canadians, trying to help the economy, helping our community. So far so good. It has been very good, very
Okay,
good.
okay. Yeah, I'm happy to hear that. Like we always say, moving to another country is not, always easy. I've met a lot of Canadians who will tell me that the fact that you moved there, you've done something that they can never do on their own, because they can't imagine moving to another country. Okay, even though we are not doing more of, I know your expertise is not in immigration and all those things, but I want to ask, there are people who are watching this who are thinking of, applying or then the middle of application process, do you have any tips or advice
Well,
for?
if you are thinking of migrating from wherever you are right now, the best time to do it is now. Don't wait for tomorrow. This is what I used to tell people because a former colleague of mine called me not too long ago, and he said he want my opinion whether to relocate or to stay. He's doing fine back home,
Hmm,
um, you know. So, but I told him frankly, I mean, what kind of Nigeria you grew up, is it the same Nigeria now?
hmm,
For example, I asked him, where are you sending your children to school? Private schools. We attended public schools.
hmm,
Public health system. We enjoy that. But that is no longer available. It means that your children they are not really having the best of time for themselves. You had better time than your children. It's supposed to be the other way around. So if there's any motivation that I could tell people or recommend, look at how you grew up. Are you giving your children the same opportunity that you had?
Mm,
So the best time to do your migration is now. Don't wait for tomorrow.
mm. Wow. That's a good one, and that's a good tip for people who are still, in dilemma. Last week we said, the right time is now. Today we are saying it again. So if it's something you're interested in, please don't waste time. Now, we ask this question: can you share some of your success stories, in Canada with us?
Well, because of my background, when I came in here, I was able to get good jobs because I had international experience before I came here. Because I used to work with a multinational company back home in Nigeria.
Mm,
So when I came here, I got a very good job with another multinational company back here. Then I also work with the government, work with the government companies. So it has really been okay for me personally.
mm,
So then I decided, well, why can't I also add few other things to this? Because if you are coming to this country and you're already 40 or close to 40, then you need to work harder. The reason being that you are already nearing retirement. And if you are nearing retirement, if you come here, for example, to this country and you are 40, an average Canadian has worked for 20 years or more than 20 years. So which means they have been able to contribute to their retirement, to their pension, you know, 20 years. So and if you are just coming, what can you do to be able to at least make sure that your retirement is going to be okay?
mm.
It means you have to double up. So that's the more reason I venture into real estate investments.
Wow, that's interesting. And like I said, is someone I look up to, and I like his transition into real estate. And if there's something I'm hoping to do one day, is maybe to establish myself in real estate line as well. So, and that's why he's qualified to talk about a lot of things I will be talking about today. Now, we'll go now into discussing, going to the myth of real estate business. It's something that I like. It's something that I'm passionate about, and it's something that, see, I know that everybody can do. That's my thought as well. So, well, let's start with this. Can you share some tricks and tips, on real estate business?
Well, first of all, this is how I'm going to. If there's any other, if there's a single industry or sector that has produced uh, many millionaires than any other sectors in the world history, is real estate.
Mm,
And so, if there's any tips or tricks that I'm going to recommend to any person that likes to do that like to venture into real estate investment, is to get himself or herself educated about the business, about the investment.
mm,
You know, getting education, getting mentor, getting people who are already in the industry, so that you find people where you can ask questions. You're still going to make mistakes, but if you get a mentor or a person that is already doing it, get yourself some education about the investment opportunities. You are going to reduce the number of mistakes you are going to make, and you are going to leverage on the experience of other people. So, if there's any trick I'm going to tell people, move to the community of people who are doing it already,
mm,
get some education, familiarize yourself with the process and what it entails, because it's different. I mean, the way they do it in this part of the world is different from where we are coming from. So, and this is very, very important to know.
okay. Oh, that's good. I will pick two questions from your answer. One of them is, you said getting education. Um, uh, what do you mean by getting education, and what's the best way of getting? Is it by going to a school?
Not necessarily a formal school.
Okay.
Get some training,
Mm,
attend seminars, attend meetups
mm,
where you meet like-minded people. You know, buy books, read books. One of the books that gets me motivated is the Rich Dad Poor Dad books.
mm,
Even back home in Nigeria, I mean, when I read the book, I was motivated, and especially when I ventured into some certain investment that I lost a lot of money. And I look at it, if I had put this money in real estate investments, at least I'll be seeing what I've invested my money on. I'll be able to see it and touch it, even though it's not generating any money. At least I'll be able to see it, and one day I'm going to make some money from it. But that time I lost a lot of money, and I made up my mind. If there's any other thing I want to do, really want to concentrate doing, it's going to be real estate investments.
mm,
Yeah.
mm. That's good. That's good. I mean, I've quite read a lot of books, I listen to people like Grant Cardone, and I know
Yeah.
some of the things you talk about are what they always
Yeah.
say as well. Now, this will lead me to my next question, which is you said something about that as well. So, comparing Nigeria or Africa to Canada, how is real estate business different?
First of all, in back home in Africa or Nigeria, you have to use all your money. You do not leverage on the fund available in the bank. Only very few people have the opportunity to be able to get loan, to be able to invest on real estate. You have to be connected, you know, if you want, all sort of a thing.
Mm,
But here, if you are able to build up your credit, if you can demonstrate the fact that you're able to pay your bills on time through your credit history, the banks are willing to give you some money. They are willing to, you know, partner with you in the business. Back home, you don't have such opportunity.
mm,
Another thing that I see is that in Nigeria, you know, most people do what most people do is flipping. You buy and
mm,
sell.
mm,
You buy and sell. You buy land. After some time, you sell it. You buy land, and do do some building on it and sell it later.
mm,
Um, Nobody is really making money month in month out. You know, although the market is also good, especially if you invested in the right place back home. Uh, but here, you are doing business with a bank, and you are also able to realize income month in month out. Most tenants back home pay rent. Most of them, not all, on yearly basis. Only very few tenants pay it on a monthly basis.
mm,
So um, there are more opportunity here for the fact that you are able to have access to funds
right,
than back home, because I mean real estate investment requires a lot of money.
correct.
And if you are going to be saving money from your salary, from your earnings, how much more will you be able to save to be able to start to do something tangible? So that here you can leverage on the fact that the banks are there, and if I mean which will bring accelerated progress.
Mm, mm. That's good. And I think that's a big factor here, like you said, the banks are there. You can always leverage on their money to do.
Yeah, yeah. Another thing I should also ask is the fact that because here is more organized.
Mm,
I mean, for example, you do not. There's no money that is going to disturb you here. You know, everything is very organized, and
mm,
uh, you have to follow the process. And if
mm,
you follow the process, everything's going to be okay.
mm,
But back home, I mean, I'm sorry, it could be a jungle kind of a thing, where you acquire a property and somebody come tomorrow and say this property I owns it,
right,
because there's no property registry that is really doing all that.
mm,
So um, that is another difference.
mm,
So it means your investment are safer here than back home.
right,
Yeah, I mean you see people investing for generations here, for generations. You see businesses that have been existing for more than 600 years, for 700 years, for 100 years by one single family. You see it, here, because the environment, the system is well organized. Yeah. So those are the differences.
Well, that's good. Thank you so much. I want to, ask a question which is like it drifts. I see a lot of people asking me about, managing tenant, or that the biggest headache is tenant time.
Yeah, I'm a buy and hold specialist, and if you are doing buy and hold, one of the uh, key strengths that you have to master is to be able to manage tenants. I mean, this is the arm of real estate investment that we call property management, and yeah, it requires some skill. I mean, which is learnable. So I mean, everybody can learn it, because I mean, the reason why you need to learn it, because potentially tenants are going to make you wealthy. I have a friend who bought a property um, on mortgage for 15 years mortgage,
Okay.
and he has the same tenant for 15 years.
Wow.
The house when he bought the house was about 500,000. The house today is about 1 million. And the same tenant has been living in that house for more than 15 years.
Wow.
So the tenant has made the guy wealthy. So you have to be able to learn how to manage tenants. So we have bad tenants, of course.
Right.
What do you do to a bad tenant?
Right.
You know?
Well, that's a good one. And you rightly said he's a buy and hold specialist, and I totally believe him, because his tips and belief in buy and hold is one of the reasons why I believe so much in buy and hold, and it will be hard for someone to convince me as well otherwise. So thank you for that. Okay, let me ask this question, and it's about starting a real estate business without cash or without having down payments. Is this possible?
Yeah, it's possible, but the first thing for anyone is to acquire the knowledge.
Okay.
I mean, how do you do it? I mean, it's real estate is not free. It has to be purchased by money. But when you acquire the knowledge, you know that you need to improve on your credit. You need to improve your credit. You also need to meet as much people as possible. For example, people that do wholesalers basically don't use their money. They buy the property from the landlord or whoever that owns it, and wholesale assign it to another person and collecting their own money.
Wow.
And if you acquired enough knowledge, and you have investors who are willing to invest on your property, you don't need to use your own money, but people have already believed in you because of what you have demonstrated.
Right.
So they bring in their own money, you bring in your own skill. Here in the parts of the world, your skill is far more important than your money. Here, skill is more valuable, cherishable than money.
Wow.
So if you're able to acquire the skill, why not?
Wow. That's a good
It
one.
is doable. It's
Wow.
doable, and I'm doing it.
Oh, that's good. Acquiring the skill is very important, and I see that a lot. I belong to a Facebook group where someone announced one day that he raised, I think, about $1 million through Facebook for his real estate business.
Yeah. People are doing it, but the person must have demonstrated,
Right.
competencies and success stories
Right.
in that aspect of his real estate.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right. Wow. Okay. Because we are talking about finance or financing, what are the options of financing real estate business in Canada?
Well, in Canada, well, we have your family and friends is one. Hard money lenders. Hard money lenders are individual small institutions who are willing to partner with you. For example, if I want to flip a property, I look at the figure of the property in terms of how much will this property cost if I finish the repair. We call it ARV, after repair value. And then I look at how much am I going to buy it now? How much am I going to, put to the repair and renovation? And how much is it going to be sold for? So if I think I'm going to make money, I go to the private money lenders. They lend me the money. I also look at how much is going to be the holding cost for the period the renovation is going to be carried out and when it's going to be listed to be sold. So with all these numbers, the hard money lenders are willing to give out the money, and based on the collateral, which is the property itself, then you do the business with them. So of course, you can also do that with family and friends, which comes cheaper, because the hard money lenders might be, the interest rate might be high, and of course the bank is also there. So those are the options. Those are the few of the options.
Well, you mentioned hard money lender. I know a lot of people will be scared of hard money lender. Do you think is worth using them or trying them?
Well, that is why I say you need someone in the industry to guide you.
Okay.
To guide you. Hard money lender, an average hard money lender, depending on the deal, we will collect between 10 to 13%. And they will also look at, we call it points, 2.3 points. On the average is 1,000 each. The point is 1,000 each. So that is a kind of closing cost of the loan. It all depends about the numbers. Real estate is about the numbers. So if the numbers is right, for example, if you buy a property for 100,000 and you are buying for 100,000 and renovation is going to cost 50,000, renovation and holding cost for 50,000, and you think you can sell it for 180. So why not? So if you are not able to raise money from your family and friends, why not try the money lenders if you are sure? That is why I said education comes first.
That's right. Thank you very much, sir. Well, at this point, we'll be going for a short break. Don't go away. Don't change your dial. Stay with us, and we'll be right back. Thank you. All right. Thank you for staying with us, and welcome back. We'll continue our discussion on, real estate business in Canada. We have with me today Mr. Akindele Opoola, who is a telecom specialist and a real estate coach. He's been answering some questions for us, and for me, it's been exciting. Like I said when I was starting, if you are watching for the first time and you've not subscribed to the channel, please do so right now. Make sure you turn on the notification for the channel so that you can always get our videos when we post them. So we'll continue our discussion. Thank you, Mr. Opoola, for all the tips that you've given us so far. Now, my next question is not really, directed to real estate. It would be like a general question, but it's something that I feel can help people. What advice do you have about managing one's finances when you come into a place like Canada?
Well, I think the first thing to do is to find out how individual person is managing their finances in Canada. The reason why I said that one critical thing for everyone is to be able to build their credit history. That is very important because it's your passport or your access to anything you are going to be in this part of the world. If you are able to manage your finances very well in terms of discipline, what you don't need, you don't buy. One thing that I noticed in this place is the fact that a white man that is wealthy is not different from a white man that is poor. You are not going to notice the difference. But back home, you will notice a wealthy man from a poor man. Because Even a person that is not wealthy want to show class.
mm,
You know, some people are not wealthy, but they want to show class. When you come to this part of the world, that kind of attitude or lifestyle, you have to stop it.
mm,
What you don't need here, do not buy it.
mm,
And what you are going to be struggling to pay back, I've seen people that have gone to buy two vehicles, two brand new vehicles at the same time. He said, I want to test whether I'm able to afford it. Of course, you are able to afford it, I mean, for a short while because they will look at your credit and, okay, because of your income and the income of your wife, they give you,
mm,
you know. But after some time, when you are struggling to pay it on monthly basis or bi-monthly, whatever the arrangement is, then that is going to be affecting your credit.
mm,
And you may not have the opportunity again. So one has to be very disciplined.
mm,
And one thing that I also find that is, when I came, they gave us credit card, and I think about 1,000 each, and we use like 800, 900. I never knew that was bad. You
mm,
know, so because they're looking at the ratio of the money you have access to and how much you are spending,
mm,
which should not be more than 33%. So if you are given a credit card of 1,000, you shouldn't be spending more than 300, 320, 330. You know, so and they also provided an opportunity to increase the credit, but because of our background, oh, I must submit only guess. I
mm,
don't want it. No. Yeah, you have to want it. You have to, let them increase so that your ratio to the money you spend every month is going to be lower. So for example, if you still want to continue to be spending 900 every month and your credit, you have access to 5,000 now or 10,000 now, it is better because you have access to a lot of money and yet you are spending just little.
mm,
So that is what it means. So you avail yourself about the how it is done to
mm,
be able to improve and
mm,
your credit,
mm,
and of course to discipline yourself.
mm,
Yeah, if you discipline yourself, you are going to have access to a lot of funds, and and you'll be able to invest them right,
mm,
to do what you really need.
mm,
So those 2 points is what I'm going to say
mm,
to be able to advise people.
mm. Wow, that's a good one. Well, yeah, and I totally agree. There was a time I was speaking with someone who said, "Oh, she had a credit card that was $4,000 limit and one that has 1,000, and she was spending about close to $1,000, but she said she doesn't want to have more debt, like you said. So she closed the $4,000 credit card, and I was telling her what you did is not actually right because it won't be good for your credit. You'll be spending close to the
Yeah.
limit that you have. But she wouldn't listen, and that's why I said education is very, very key.
Education is key in this part of the world. You
Mm,
know, I've also seen people who cancel their because the longer you have credit card, the better.
mm,
So, for example, you have credit card for 8, 9 years. You don't cancel such because they are more superior in terms of your rating than the credit card you just obtained 2, 3 years ago.
mm,
So some people have made mistake by canceling the credit card of 8 years, you know, of because of the limited knowledge that they have. So
mm,
when you come to this part of the world, avail yourself the opportunity to be able to learn.
mm,
Is very important.
mm,
This is a very organized society.
mm. Yeah, I agree. I mean, all my life back in Nigeria, I work in financial institution, and but I can tell you when I got to Canada, it was a totally different learning experience about finances and things like that. Okay, let me go to our next question, which is on flipping and renting. What advice do you have on these two area of real estate business?
Well, both are good. Flipping just entails you buying renovating property and selling them for profits.
Mm.
While renting has to do with you are buying the property and you are holding them, you know,
Mm.
while you also live on the cash flow. It's very important that if you are going to buy and load a property, that property must be cash flowing for you,
Mm.
which means it's bringing income no matter how little, month in, month out. It doesn't make sense if you buy a property and yet you are putting money out of your pocket every month to be able to sustain or maintain that property.
Mm.
That is a liability.
Mm.
A property is supposed to be an asset, supposed to be a performing asset, which means generating income for you month in, month out. Um, Flipping is okay because we are buying profit. But one thing, because I've done the two and I specialized in one. The reason why I do buy and hold is the fact that buy and hold can create generational wealth for
Mm.
your family. Um, and it also generates income on month in, month out. If you are compare with flipping, you can make a profit of 20,000, 30,000. You know, for example, if you do 5 flips in a year and each of the flips makes you 30,000 each, that is 150,000.
Mm.
You know, you are going to be taxed accordingly. And tax here is not, I mean, as we say back home, Korean. You know, so if you are doing buy and hold, it has more tax advantage
Mm.
than if you are doing flipping. And flipping, there's no way you can do flipping if you are also working other jobs.
Mm.
It's difficult. It's possible, but it's difficult because flipping demands your time, supervising your project, getting new leads. You know, so it demands, I mean, a lot of your hours,
Mm.
and it's similar to someone having 9 to 5 job.
Yeah.
But while buy and hold, you can do it part time.
Mm.
You know, so I mean, it makes sense for me to be able to do buy and hold to rent my properties. I mean, I make sure that when I'm buying a property, how much is this property is going to generate at the end of the month
Mm.
after I've settled all bills, which
Mm.
include my mortgage, my insurance, my property tax, maintenance, and any other bills, which include all the utilities. If I'm paying, in the case I'm paying the utilities for that particular property, so how much will be left for me as a cash flow at the end of the month.
Mm.
So it means basically the more property that I have, the more income that I have. So that is what I do, and that is what I like to do.
Mm. Well, that's good. Thank you. Well, my next question is on part of what you mentioned at the beginning, and that's the role of a mentor in business, especially real estate business.
Yeah, is thank you for that question because it's very very important.
Mm.
You know, I believe that whatever you want to do, anything worth doing well, whatever you want to do, you need to leverage on the experience of other people.
Mm.
Um, Someone you'll be able to ask question, someone you'll be able to, leverage on his or her own experience, because it's a vast place, and you're still going to make mistakes even despite the fact that you are going to have a mentor.
Mm.
But to limit the kind of mistake you are going to make, you know, and for you to be able to um, make a good success, one need a mentor. A mentor will guide you. Um, a mentor will give you opportunity. You can also leverage on their own um, network, to get more opportunity.
Mm.
So, uh, getting a mentor is very very vital
Mm.
to your success.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wow.
It doesn't have to be someone that is older than you. You can be younger than you. Your
Yeah.
your mentor, you can be older than your mentor by 20 years.
Right.
I mean, back home we use. I mean, when they mention the word mentor, you look at someone that is older than you.
Right.
Here your mentor could be 25 years.
Mm.
and is your mentor because you don't know what he knows.
Right. Right. We get it wrong a lot.
Yeah.
Back home. Yeah.
And because of their system here, you could see a 19-year-old young man or young lady who has a very vast experience as if it's 60 years.
Mm. Mm.
So because of
Mm.
the way the system is set up,
Right.
so you don't query that.
Yeah.
If a person knows anything more than you, he knows there's nothing you can do.
Right.
The only thing you can do is for you to also accelerate your own learning.
Right. That's right. So, I know we've talked about real estate. I'm asking you this question because I know you and I know that you are someone who like exploring, So, aside real estate, are there other opportunities in Canada?
There are a lot of opportunities here, because here is a kind of society that whatever you want to do, the system that is already created is backing you up. But it requires that you have to work very hard.
Mm.
It requires that you have to be determined.
Mm.
If you want me to tell you the truth, the most successful people in this country are the immigrants.
Mm.
Because they came here to work very hard and they have made a lot of success. I read about the man that donated some funds in HSC, Health Sciences, I think about 80 million. He came here in maybe 1960 something.
Mm.
He couldn't even speak English.
Mm.
But today it's a success story. So immigrants are more successful here because they have worked very hard. There are a lot of opportunities, a lot of business opportunity. What our people are not looking at oftentimes is business opportunities. It's good to have a job, it's good to work your job, but if you're above 40 and you're here, also look at other opportunities.
Mm.
Other opportunity in order for you to accelerate,
Mm-hmm.
Because the fact is that if you're 40 already, what is going to be your retirement age? 65?
Mm.
So, which means you only have 25 years to contribute to your retirement.
Mm.
And if it's going to be 55, you will only have 15 years.
Mm.
And for so people like us, 50 years, well, I don't know what to say.
Mm-hmm.
So, but there are a lot of opportunities. There are a lot of opportunities.
Mm.
And the system is designed. I see some people going to clinic business, my friends going to renting cars, going to limousine services, but we need to look very deep. I mean, if some people that because you are black, because you are brown,
Mm.
you think that business is not cut out for you, well, those people are making mistakes. The biggest developers in Canada are Indians.
Wow.
The biggest developers in Canada are Indians.
Wow. Mm.
So there are a lot of opportunities.
Wow. Wow. That's interesting. You can hear that. Don't come and think you can just limit yourself. Like I tell people when I was coming to Canada, I was more like, oh, let me come and retire, even though I'm not old, and just take care of the kids, and see where they can get to. But after getting to Canada, I know that, the biggest disservice we can do to ourselves is to say, you don't want to explore the opportunities that we have, Okay. My next question, and that will be second to the last question, I think, is a bit of a personal question, but I will still ask it. Do you have any regrets
Not
about
at all.
it?
No, because coming here is just a dream come true. Because as a teenager, I had it in mind to come to Canada,
Oh, wow.
and it took me several years for that to materialize.
Wow.
I've always known that I'm going to be here.
Wow.
So Now I'm here, and I'm doing what I like to do.
Wow.
I'm doing what I love to do.
Wow.
Because I mean I was also into real estate investment back home
Okay.
in Nigeria, and where I was buying and selling lands and even building houses. You know, but it's better done here.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. That's interesting, and I like the way you said it. That I'm doing what I like to do. This is one opportunity that I know that Canada will give you, and because of a lot of factors that you cannot control back home.
Yeah.
You had a lot of things that you may want to do, you wouldn't be able to do, or at the scale at which you want to do it. All right. So my last question will be this. Do you have any other thing that you want to add, to this discussion? Any advice, any other thoughts?
Well, there are a lot of opportunities in this country,
Mm,
and I tell you, this country is wealthy.
mm,
Um, I read it in change.org. Banking, the six biggest banks in Canada,
mm.
they made 46 billion last year. $46 billion.
46 billion.
The six biggest banks,
Wow.
not several other banks, but the
Wow.
six biggest, which means that they made uh, for every 1 hour, you're making about $100 million every one
Wow.
hour.
Wow.
Um, so there are a lot of opportunities here because this country is very wealthy.
Mm,
But for people who are able to work very hard, thank God for people in our community who are doing well in the business. But what I want to encourage people in our community is that we should help ourselves.
mm,
We have few of us that are doing extremely well, and we also need to, to help other people that are coming up.
mm,
You know, putting their eyes in strategy places like
mm,
the Indians and the Filipinos, how they are doing.
mm,
That this is the way, this is how you can make it here.
mm,
You know,
mm.
we cannot all be doing 9 to 5 job. Let's spread our tentacles.
Mm,
Some people in business, some people in 9 to 5 jobs,
mm,
some people in the real estates, some people setting up their business and this business, and let's connect ourselves.
mm, mm,
Because there are a lot of opportunities. Our community should be able to build. We should be able to build ourselves to an extent where the government is going to respect us, just
mm,
the way they respect the Indians, the Chinese, the Filipinos.
mm, mm,
That is very important.
mm,
So I encourage everyone in our community, African communities, Nigerian community, let's help ourselves.
mm, mm. Thank you so much. I love the way we are handling it. Let's join our hands together in our community. Let's come together. Let's help ourselves. Let's build something. That we even go beyond us. And I mean that's the way they can really respect us, like you rightly said. Thank you so much, sir, for your time and
Thank you very much
for
for
all
your time.
your tips. I know that based on questions and demand, we may have to bring you back some other time.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time too.
All right.
God bless.
All right. All right. Thank you once again, our viewers. Thank you for joining us today. That is that for now. Please send in your questions, your comments. You can send it in the comment box. As much as possible, if you have any questions, we'll reply you. We have other interviews that line up, other discussions that line up, please. So don't go away. You'll stay with us, and we wish you a great time. And we know that this period will pass, and we will smile again. Bye, and God bless.